So, friends, hi and welcome back. Um, I thought let's tier rank all my favorite books of all time. So, listen, it's like just 41 books. Um, I was also thinking about tier ranking all the books I've read before, but the problem is that I feel like I don't have enough, which is crazy because it's like almost 90 to 100 books. Um, the thing is, obviously, I have not been like what's it called tracking my books all the way back to when I started reading. So I only have the books on Fable that I remember reading and when I read them. So these are definitely not, probably not all my favorites. And when I do the tier ranking all the books I've read ever, probably also not the books that I've really actually only read in my entire life. But so that's it. Just so you know. So I would say let's start. I went with the rating system that Carrie did use in her video because I love her videos and I love her tier ranks, like the the tier ranking categories that she does. And I always tend to. She's one of those like booktubers that I almost always relate to. So I'm gonna use her tier ranking. I wanted to use my laptop, but it's so slow and old. No. So I'm just gonna use my iPad. Um, let's start, shall we? So the first book we have is The Tales of Arcana Fortune. I got this as an arc, and I would put this into solid, to be honest. I did really love it, though I gotta say, that I don't know if it was the book or if it was me, but I was having kind of a reading slump, like 50% in. So listen, okay, so 50% to 70% in the book dragged a lot. But I already said all of this in my reviews. I don't know if I reviewed this on YouTube yet, but I definitely have on Instagram. So if you're interested in the full review, you can check out my Instagram down below. And yeah, that one's a solid. Um, yeah, but it was good, and it felt really like diving into a fairy tale, like living in a fairy tale. So I like that. Next, we have Sunrise on the Reaping. I put this into. I would actually put this into Always Wreck. Yes, I'm gonna leave it there. Um, then we have. I don't know if many of you know this book. It's called Monsieur Ibrahim and the Flowers of the Quran. It's actually a French book. I read it in German though. I would put this into solid as well. I know I rated this 5 stars back then. I don't think I would give it 5 stars anymore. I don't know. I just felt kind of pressured to give it 5 stars because I know a lot of people that love that book. I know a lot of people, yeah, gave that book like 5 stars. I did too, but I would not do that again. It's a solid book, and it has a beautiful message. Wait, let me think about it. Maybe I would put it in Always Rec. It has a beautiful message. I love it. Um, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it into Always Right because I love the message. Um, the book itself is short. It's like 150 pages or something. Something. Oh my god. Um, so you can read it quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna put it into Always Rec because I love the message. I know I had a lot of critique about the way the Muslim character was, even though he wasn't like a bad person at all. But like it's a non-Muslim French author, so still I love the message behind the book. You should read it. So always rec. Let's move on. Then we have God by Ferdinand von Schirach, which is a German author. I think his books are also translated. I don't know which ones are though. I talked about this book in my mid-year freak out tag. It's one of my first videos, if not the first video that I posted. So if you're interested in that, you can, go watch it. I'm gonna put the thingy up here somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna put it into I'm gonna put it into Forever Fave. I would also put it into Always Rec because I would always recommend this to people. But it's a forever favorite, and it's not the last time that I've read it, even though I know what it's about. It's nonfiction, by the way. Well, it's not nonfiction, it is fiction, but like it's about moral questioning. You know what? Just Google yourself or watch my video. I think I explained it pretty well in my other video. So then we have next book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I think this was my very first R.F. Kuang book, and I'm gonna put it into Forever Fave. Definitely. I would not always recommend this. That's the thing. I would not recommend this to everyone. If I know that you read light books and you want the fluffy, lovely romance, fantasy stuffs, which I love as well, like no judgment here, I would not recommend this to you because it's a lot. It's a brick. But I know like a few people that love languages, language learning, that find like the topic of languages interesting, and those are the people that I would recommend this to because this is very like language heavy, obviously. Yeah, and if you are willing to read about like a lot of political stuff, a lot of historical stuff, yeah, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's a lot to get through, but Forever Fave is for me. I have this exact copy with this like cover, and I think it's my only copy of R.F. Kuang books that is not a special edition, but it's still the most special book I own because I went to one of her tour like meetups in Cologne, and she signed it. And now it's not only signed, but it's attached to a beautiful memory because I met a lot of cute people there and I love them all. So shout out to you guys. Yeah, I love Babel. So next we have a German book again, which is Animant Krump's Staubchronik. This is historical romance, and I think this was one of the first romance books I've ever read. It was a birthday gift from a friend a few years ago. I think I read this when I was like 17 or something. 17 or 18. And I love this. Guys, this is a historical romance. Listen, this is a book in, I think, 1840, 1820s, London. It's about a girl that does not want to be married off. She wants to study, and it's not allowed to study for women yet. But she gets offered a job at a library, and there is this librarian that she kind of hates because he's like so annoying. And yeah, it's slow burn, bros. This is 500 plus pages, and they don't even kiss until the end. So if you like slow burn and no smut, this is for you. If you like historical romance, if you like historical book about books, library setting, like aesthetic, this is for you. I don't know if it's translated though. I don't think it is, which I hate because this book is everything. I love it. I would put this into Always Rec. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Or am I gonna put it into Forever Fave? Okay, listen. I'm gonna leave it in Always Rec. But I have not read this book since I read it the first time, and I like definitely want to reread it. So ask me after I've reread it if I would put it into Forever Fave, because I read this, as I said, when I was 18. That's like almost 7 years ago now. Wait, no, it's not. Math is not mathing, bros. It's 5 years ago. So it might be that it's too cliche maybe for me. It gives Wattpad, but like good Wattpad. Do you know what I mean? Like you ate those up Wattpad stories. Um, but yeah, I feel like that might be a little too childish, too YA for me. So ask me again after I've reread it. Yeah. Then we have another German thriller by Sebastian Fitzek. Guys, if you know my channel, you know that I am the biggest Fitzek fan ever. Almost every book that I read of this guy is a 5-star or a 4-star. Der Seelenbrecher, which means The Soul Breaker, is the first book I read, and I would put this into Always Rec because it was good. Yeah, I have a lot of his books in here. Let me do those first, because I would put them almost all into the same category. I would say, the Insasse, which means the inmate, and it is also his books are mostly translated in English. So if you're interested, yeah, go look him up. He writes crazy shit. Like his thrillers are crazy. But if you're in for a ride, why not give it a try? Yeah, The Inmate, Always Rec. Where are his other books? Das Paket means the package, which I'm also gonna put into Always Rec. Then we have the Joshua Profile by the same author, also a psycho thriller. But I know that I love this and I know that this was a good book, but I literally don't remember anything about this book, so I'm gonna put it into Who Is She? I know I gave this almost 5 stars, but I can't conjure up anything about this story in my mind right now. So she's gonna stay in Who Is She? I'm so sorry. Supposedly I loved it, but like I don't remember anything. Then I have his newest book, which is Der Nachbar, and I will put this into solid. It was not as good as his other works, but it was still good. So solid it is. Do I have any of do I have any other books? Yes. Das Kalendermädchen also solid. Yeah. Then we have When Darkness Calls, which is also a psycho thriller. You can see I love thrillers, or I used to read them a lot. Now I mostly read the ones from Fitzek because it's kind of a habit. It's an auto buy. I see that I hear or see or read that he is writing a new book, and I'm always checking my phone for some updates. But with other thrillers, it's not like that. It's just because it's Fitzek. When Darkness Calls, I do remember a lot of the imagery that I was imagining while reading this book. And I kind of know what it's about. Well, it's a psycho thriller, they're almost all the same. Yeah, I would put this into lukewarm because I remember liking it a lot. I remember a few things. Yeah, but I don't remember enough, so I will put it into lukewarm. Yeah, then we have the Hunger Games trilogy. I only have the first book in here, but I'm gonna count it as the trilogy, and I'm gonna put it into Forever Favorite because it's my Forever Favorite. Like, I just talked to a friend about this, and she was like, "No." I was talking about it because Sunrise on the Reaping is coming out, and like the movie, and she was like, "Girl, are you still stuck up on that? Like, that was just a phase. Get over it." I'm like, it's not. The Hunger Games is not just a phase. This is my jam. Okay, so yeah, Forever Favorite it is. Then we have the second book of a trilogy as well. But I have the first two books separately because I have separate things to say about them. I don't have the third book in here because we don't talk about the third book, okay? I talked about it once and that's enough. Well, maybe twice on TikTok and here, but whatever. So the first book is Staying Was the Hardest Part. It's a German romance novel by Rabia Doğan. This book is about a girl with mutism who got mutism because she lost her brother. Well, after losing her brother, she just stopped talking. And she has all this pressure from her family now. Her family is like, I think her parents are the first generation to be immigrants to Germany. And now that her bigger brother is gone, all of the pressure is on her. She wasn't able to fulfill her dreams of studying medicine, but then she meets this guy and he doesn't leave her alone, but like not in a creepy way, not in an annoying way. So yeah, I really like this book. This is actually my favorite of the trilogy, so I'm gonna put it into Always Rec. I know romance is not everyone's cup of tea as well because it wasn't mine for a long time. But yeah, I would definitely put it here because it was so cute. I loved it. The love interest in this book is so freaking cute. I love him. No, wait, actually, I'm gonna put it into Fiverr Fave because I would reread this one. I'm gonna put it into Fiverr Favorite. Moving on. I loved the story. I loved everything about this. The second book is Trusting Was the Hardest Part, and I would listen. I wanted to put this into Always Rec, but I think I might put it into Solid. Yeah, I'm gonna put it into Solid because I liked it, but I didn't like the ending. Not the ending, but like there was like the issues were resolved too fast and we didn't see it. It was off page and I didn't like that. And I have some issues with the male main character. Listen, I get it. If you read this book, I get it. But he should have just been honest about everything, so I'm gonna put it into Solid. Yeah. Oh, we have Babel again. Sorry. Some of these. Oh, yeah, yeah. Some of the covers I have two of because one has a better quality, and I didn't delete the other ones. So then we have Sorcery of Thorns. This book I got recommended. Oh, recommended by Carrie. I saw it in one of her videos, and I was like, okay, let me read this. I'm gonna put this into Forever Favorites because I love it. I was gonna put it into Always Rec, but I remembered the book and the way it made me feel. Yeah, listen. This book, this German book, and Sorcery of Thorns. These two are the same thing in a different font. One of them is fantasy and one of them is not, and both of them make me feel a certain way. So, as I said, this might also be here. I'm just gonna put it here for now because I haven't read it in a long time. And Sorcery of Thorns, I did read just like 2 years ago. I reread it 2 years ago, so yeah, it's up there. But the other one is probably also gonna be there. Yeah. Then we have You've Reached Siam, which I know a lot of people didn't like this. I know the reviews were mixed, pretty mixed about this, because they were annoyed with the main character, with the girl. And I get it, but I understood it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I felt for her. She annoyed the hell out of me as well. And yes, she did not have the right to behave the way she did, but I get it. So I'm gonna put this into Solid. I wouldn't recommend this to everyone, and I also wouldn't put it into Five of Fave, so I'm gonna put it into Solid, but I really liked the book. Like, I read it at the right time. I wanted something to cry about, and this gave me it. Yeah. Then we have Pride and Prejudice. This is gonna go in Forever Favorite because I love it. I'm obsessed. Everyone should read it. Let's move on. Then we have Six Crimson Cranes. only the first book because I still have not read the second one. It has been in my shelf for at least 5 years, at least, at the very least, and I have not read it yet. Listen, Six Crimson Cranes, I knew that I liked it a lot when I read it. I'm gonna put it into lukewarm or solid. Let me think about it. I'm gonna put it into solid because I really did like it back then and I have good memories of it. Um yeah, but I have not read the second book because I think in the second book there's gonna be a love triangle with the dragon boy best friend. And I no, I don't want that. Like she loses her memory or some type of shit, I think it was, and nah, bro. If she has a fiance, if she's like having a memory loss and falling in love with her annoying dragon best friend that I did not like in the first book, I don't want to read it. I don't know why I bothered them, but like, I probably won't gonna read it. Then we have the Cruel Prince trilogy, and this is forever favorite. I have the Fairy Loot editions. I love them. I'm listening to the audiobooks right now. Um, yeah, The Cruel Prince. I'm gonna reread it as well. The audiobook is just because I didn't have any other audiobook to listen to. So yeah. Then we have Juniper Hill, which is small town romance, single mother, and stuff. I really liked this. I don't remember much anymore though. I'm gonna put it into solid because of that. I know that I loved this and I fell in love with the characters and the world. And I wanted to read other books. Yeah. But I'm gonna put it into solid because I don't remember much else. Oh, I forgot about a Fitzek book. The Heimweg. I'm gonna put it into forever favorite because that was one of his best books that I've ever read. It was mind blowing. Yeah. Let's go with this one, Sweet Bean Paste. This was my first like translated Japanese novel, and at first I didn't like it that much. Well, I did like it, but I didn't love it. But after thinking about it, after having it marinated a bit, I really did love it. So I'm gonna put it into. See, the thing is, I wouldn't recommend this to everyone either. So I have to put it into solid. Yeah, I'm gonna put it into solid. I'm sorry. Then we have High Hopes. It's a German romance book. It's I think it has 4 books. It's about a group of people working in the hospital. It's a hospital romance. But I only read the first book. I have all the other books, but I don't think I'm gonna read them, to be honest. Because I read the first and it was fine. I kind of don't want to read the other ones. Whatever. So, this I'm gonna put into lukewarm. I did love it a lot back then, but I don't feel it anymore, so it's lukewarm for me. Then we have Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. This was a cute book. I loved it. I'm gonna put it into solid. It's romance as well. I don't know if I said it. I think I talked about this book also in another video. I think it was my mid-year freak out thingy. So yeah, you can watch it again somewhere up here or in the description box down below. Let's move on. Then we have the Infernal Devices. I think it was like Clockwork Angel and stuff. These I'm gonna put into. I'm gonna put it into Always Reg. Sorry, but I love those books, low key. I only read them because I wanted to read the Last Hour series, and I still haven't done that. And I read the Infernal Devices, I think 2 years ago. I don't know what that says about me, but whatever. Sorry. Then we have another romance book, but this Muslim romance. And it was Nice. It was so well done. I loved it. It's Love from A to Z. I couldn't find another book cover on Pinterest. So yeah, I'm gonna put this into always rec because it wasn't. It is definitely not a forever favorite, but I loved it, so I'm gonna put it into always recommend because I would always recommend this. If someone asked me about a Muslim romance that is well done, I would recommend Love from A to Z because I don't read that many Muslim romances because I'm scared of how they've done it. You know what I mean? If it's good or not. But that one was well done. Then we have a book that destroyed me forever. I'm gonna put it into 5 of favorites. It's A Thousand Splendid Suns. If you've read it, you know. If you don't, what are you waiting for? Like, what do you mean you don't want to get your heart ripped out and stepped on and ripped into pieces? What do you mean you don't want that? Yeah. Then we have the Save Me trilogy, which is the Maxton Hall trilogy series, whatever. You probably all know about Maxton Hall TV show on Amazon Prime. These are the books, and I read them before I watched the TV show. I love both. I'm gonna put it into solid though. I gave the trilogy, I think, almost 5 stars, but I would put it into solid to be honest. It was like the high of I was in the high of having just read it, you know, so I gave them 5 stars, but I would put it into solid now. Um, that's the thing with me and my rankings or my 5 star ranking thingy. I don't like not giving them a star rating, but I also don't like giving them a star rating because, first of all, there are books. It's just like Carrie said, there are books in this. There would be books in the same category, even though they were not objectively not good enough. Like there might be 2 books in a 5 star category with I might have given 2 completely different books 5 stars, and one of them could have been trash. And just because I had like a good time reading it, I gave it 5 stars, you know. So that's why I don't really like those star rating things, but I also don't like leaving books unrated. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna give them a star rating, and most of the time, that's the problem. I want to rate a book right away, but I didn't have enough time, like after finishing it, but I didn't have enough time to really think about it. And a lot of books that I was in the high of like having finished and liked and loved it so much. A lot of books like that love ebbs away, if you know what I mean. Like I don't after a few days I'm like, why did I give this 5 stars? Um but on the other hand, there are books that I would have rated like that I rated low, like 2 to 3 stars, and then I would be like, okay, if it was a 2 star book, it's not probably not gonna happen. But a 3 star book, I had a 3 star book that I then changed my rating to 5 stars because after thinking about it, it's a genius book. It was so well done. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to like not do anymore, you know, ranking or reviewing books right after I've read them. Or I try to be more reasonable and realistic with it instead of just, oh, I loved it and I loved the way it made me feel 5 stars, you know? Yeah, let's move on. Then we have Six of Crows, the duology. I'm gonna put it into 5 of favorite because it is. I just bought the Illumicrit edition. Oh, guys, I think my video is uploaded, but I forgot to post about it. Never mind. Yeah, as I said, I just bought the Illumicrit edition. I got, thank goodness I did, because I got the email, you know, I got an email from Illumicrit. And I immediately bought them, and now 2 days later, they are sold out. It was a pre-order. They are going to be shipped in, I think, around February, March, the website says. So I might do an unboxing video for you guys. Maybe not, maybe I will, because most of the time when it is delivered, I am not wearing my hijab and I don't like putting on my hijab for a video. So yeah, it was the same with the Poppy War trilogy. When the Illumicrate edition arrived, I wanted to do an unboxing, but I was too impatient, so I didn't. Yeah. Then we have Alchemized. Listen, there's only one other book that I've ever read, and it wasn't even an actual book, it was a Wattpad story that made me feel the way Alchemized made me feel. Like, it was so tragically beautiful. It was so tragic, it was so devastating, but it was so good. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna put it into favorite. I loved it. I devoured that book. It has over 1,000 pages, and I read it in, I think, 2 days. Yeah. 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 Then we have another devastatingly beautiful book, which is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. And that's also a forever favorite. I love it so much. Also, both of these books, Alchemized and As Long as Lemon Trees Grow, are not romance books. These are both about war, about devastating truth, about telling a story, you know, and just because there is a romance, a tiny, miny bit of romance in it, doesn't make it a romance book. Guys, don't forget about it, okay? Yeah. Then we have Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I would put this into solid just because I would put it into solid. I really loved it. I almost gave it 5 stars, I think. But I wouldn't recommend this to everyone. Because all this also had a lot of mixed reviews, and I see why. Like, I acknowledge why it had bad reviews or why people didn't like it. So I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but it's also not as good as the other books of her that I read. Like, yeah, it's definitely not a forever favorite, so it's not gonna go there. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't always recommend it, and not to everyone, so it's not gonna go in here, which leaves only solid because I really loved it, and it would be a shame to put it anywhere else, so I'm gonna put it into solid. Then we have When Breath Becomes Air, which is a semi-autobiography, or an autobiography, I think, of a doctor that turned into a patient. This is a beautiful, beautiful book, and it is so underrated. I have not seen a lot of people talk about this. I loved it so much. It's a forever favorite. As I said, it's about a neurosurgeon that was one of the best in his field, and suddenly he himself is diagnosed with cancer, and after getting the diagnosis, he starts writing this book talking about how he had marital issues and how that kind of brought them together again, and he didn't even get to finish the book. His wife finished it for him, which makes it even more devastating. It's a tiny book, I think just a few hundred pages, maybe 200 pages. And yeah, I love it so, 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 so much. It's so inspirational and so sad as well, obviously. Yeah, I really loved it. Then we have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This is easily always recommend. It's cute, it's YA, it's fluffy. I love it so much. Yeah. Then we have The Poppy War, only the first book because that's the only book that I've read for now. I finished it yesterday and I started the second one yesterday as well. I'm gonna put this into solid because I would not recommend this to everyone. This is a very graphic, also war surrounding book. It's about colonialism, it's about war, it's in a fantasy world, it's a fantasy book, but it has real themes and real topics and really heavy topics and really graphic descriptions. And I wondered that it did not have any trigger warnings in the beginning, like on the first few pages. But yeah, it is really graphic. Like they talk about everything, which is why I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. But the first book also is not a forever favorite. I loved it, but it's definitely not a forever favorite. I think I'm gonna put it into solid. The Little Prince, I would put into either solid or always recommend. I liked the book. Like, it was cute. I loved it. I loved the message behind it. But I think I would put it into solid. And yeah, well, I think it's a book that everyone should have read once, at least. Not because it's so well done or something, but the message is important. And I think everyone should have read it. So I'm going to put it into always recommend. Then we have a memento for Istanbul by Ahmet Ümit. It's a Turkish author, but as you can see, there is an English translation, and I read the German translation even. It's a uh, it's a what's a Krimi? Was ist ein Krimi auf Englisch? What's a Krimi in English? Wait, I have to look it up. Wait. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh, obviously my phone. I'm looking for my phone, but bro, I'm filming with it. Okay, whatever. So it's a, I think, thriller, is it? It's basically about a series of killings in Istanbul, and they are all like done by one person. Like it's a serial killer, and it's linked to like there are like cues and little hints to Istanbul's story or history, to Istanbul's history, and our like detective tries to figure out where the next corpse will be found before it happens so that he can do something about it. And it was a great story. It is a chunky book, at least the German translation is, but I don't remember that much, so I'm gonna put it into lukewarm. Oh yeah, that's it. The other two books are just the titles um that I forgot to delete. Right. Yeah, so this is what the list looks like right now. Um I would say it's a pretty solid list, and it made me realize a lot of things as well. Maybe I have to change like few reviews, but I'm not going to do that because those reviews are what it felt like back in time when I gave them the reviews. So, yeah. Okay, guys, see you in another one. Bye bye.